My, where do we start? My name is Osvaldo Muro. I am a college coach at Eastside College Prep, where I work with first-generation college students, help them make sense of their journeys, and help them get to the other side. I feel like education it's a ticket to the show. It's a degree, and a degree is credibility. In some ways, I feel like education is a piece of paper, but it's an important piece of paper. And without it, you don't have the same options. My mom and dad didn't have options, and for them, they didn't go to school. That wasn't a choice for them. My parents are from Guadalajara, Jalisco. It's a big city. Every time I go to Mexico, you're so happy, you're so comfortable. Like, why'd you leave all this? And the way that my parents describe it to me is that in order to sign up your kid for private school or public school, you have to go to the Department of Education. So if you wanted a spot for your kid, you had to stand in line for, the way my mom and dad made it sound, like a week, like literally like camping out, just so that you can get a spot for your kid. And even after a week of standing in line to get a spot for my oldest brother, they ran out. My dad says that was like their wake-up call. You know, if they want their kids to have a better life than they did, if they want them to go to school and be educated and have options, Mexico wasn't going to be the place for them to do that. But because my grandmother had been born in the U.S., my dad had a pathway to citizenship in the U.S. In retrospect, we didn't have a lot, but no one told me. I didn't know that. I never perceived us to be poor or to not have enough. My parents worked really hard to make sure that me and my siblings didn't have to worry about those kind of things. They worked day and night to make sure there was always food on the table and a roof over our heads. And they gave everything up for a chance at that, for us, for my siblings and I. It wasn't for them, it was for my siblings and I. I was very lucky, I was very fortunate that I had a program outside of school that kind of helped fill those gaps. And that was life-changing for me. It was a college access nonprofit, Upward Bound, the Harvey Mudd Upward Bound program. I would not be where I am today if it wasn't for this program. Yeah, I was super paranoid, and so I felt the need to apply to a bunch of different schools. So of my list of 20-something schools, Stanford wasn't on there. I wasn't planning on applying, and I looked at the application and I'm like, I've got an essay. I can copy and paste, and it's always been my dream to go to, Stanford, fine, like whatever. I got fee waivers, why not? Fast forward, I get my letters, I wound up getting accepted. And of all the schools I had gotten accepted into, Stanford gave me the best financial aid by far. When you get into college, when you get financial aid like that, it feels like you won the lottery, like everything has led up to this moment and it's here and I got it and like, I'm done, this is what it was all about. But then I get to college and I'm taking all these biology and all these chem courses, and it didn't feel like it felt when I was in high school. It felt like drinking water out of a fire hose. If I continue on this path, I keep banging my head up against the wall, taking these bio and chem courses that I'm not enjoying. If I'm being honest with myself, I am not enjoying. I'm not going to graduate. It didn't really feel like a choice so much as it was, if I keep doing this, it's not going to work out. My time is running out, and this path isn't working. My mom and dad had this motto, todo se puede lograr si le echas ganas, right? Everything in this life is possible if you just work hard enough. But doing what makes you happy, was never part of the conversation. My mom and dad, always very supportive. They always used to tell me, you go off to college and you study, you do whatever you want to do. You pursue whatever you want to pursue. You do whatever you want. But just so you know, so-and-so went and majored in Chicano studies, and now they're working at Starbucks. But you do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. I went from study for this test and get that done, or else, push yourself, or else, to, hey, this is actually kind of interesting. I'm gonna keep reading. Then I found this job at a college access nonprofit, Peninsula Bridge. It reminded me a lot of my college access program, the Upward Bound program that really changed my life when I was in high school. And I thought, this is it. This is my calling. This is what I'm supposed to do.
And you've already dropped a lot of words of wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
But what is the message you want to leave people with?
There is value in things not going according to plan. And if you can recognize the value in things not going according to plan, absolutely nothing in this world can stop you, right? Because whether you're moving forward or backwards, it's a step in the right direction.